One of the things I highly underestimated in becoming a mom was the amount of decisions I would have to make on a daily basis. From what to put in the lunchbox, to what to put on my kids, to how to parent without becoming a helicopter parent, to what to do with the kid who just put marker all over my couch. And then the most important decision of every day, Mom, what's for dinner? Apparently in my house, I don't know is not a great answer. I don't know. Then there's those decisions that carry a whole lot more weight. For our family, we've been walking through some really tough stuff the last year with one of our kids medically, and we've just had decision after decision, and it's what doctor we need to see, what medications to consider, choices that I never wanted to make and that I had never planned on making, yet here we are. And maybe that's you too. You're at a place where the circumstances may look different, but it's just hard. And it's overwhelming. I know there's been a lot of moments in the past year where I have felt ill-equipped as a mom. I've just been weary, bone weary, and got to the point where I thought my brain may explode if I make one more decision. You know, as moms, we juggle a lot, and we are strong, right? Because we have to be. But there's a downside to that. Yes, we're strong, but we often operate out of our own strength and our own power. And we forget that we have someone walking along with us. In Jeremiah 17, 7-8, there's a passage that God speaks over us. And I just want to share it with you because I love it. It's from the New Living Translation. I'm going to put some feminine pronouns into it. It's, "Blessed is she who trusts in the Lord, who makes the Lord her hope and her confidence. For she will be like a tree planted by the riverbank, whose roots grow down deep into the stream. She will not fear when the heat comes. She will not worry in the long months of drought. Her leaves will be green, and she will never stop producing fruit." If you're weary, if you're overwhelmed with everything that's going on right now, if you're unsure about next steps, I think this is an incredible promise for you of who God is in your life. That first line of the passage is a decision. It's a decision, but it's one of the most important ones that we can make as women and as moms. It's the active choice to trust God and to make Him our hope and our confidence. Yes, it's easy to say, but are we really making Him our hope and our confidence? What are you operating out of right now? Where are you placing your hope? If you are feeling like you're running on empty, if you're stressed, if you're worried, if you have fear, I'm gonna guess that potentially you're placing your hope in something other than the Lord. Maybe it's financial security. It's the hope of that perfect job, or of a new spouse, of owning your own home, or of health. Those are great, but they're not intended to be the answer. That's why this verse is so huge for us, because if we truly believe that God can be trusted, then everything changes. That next line says, "When you trust, you'll be like a tree planted by the riverbank." And when trees are deeply rooted, they have streams that are nourishing them underneath. They're unshakable, they're unmovable. And I love that description because so often when I feel like the world around me is crashing in, when I feel like things are spinning out of control, I feel very fragile. I feel like I can break and I feel brittle. And that's where God's saying, if you trust that I'm with you, that I have you in my hand, you're unshakable. And if you come to me for answers, if you quit trying to manipulate and control every situation, then you're going to be rooted. And you're not just going to survive, you're going to thrive. That's a promise. Our leaves stay green and you will bear fruit. Now, I think it's important to note, in this passage, it doesn't say if the heat and the drought come. It says when they come. And I'm going to guess, if you're watching this, I'm probably preaching to the choir because you know that. You understand the drought. You've either been in it or you're sitting in it right now. And that's why I think this is a huge encouragement for us. That though our circumstances may still be hard, they may be devastating, that God's saying, you're going to thrive because I am with you. None of this is a surprise to Him. And He knows that He is with us in our choices and our responsibilities on a daily basis. And He's saying, I'm here for wisdom and for strength. The passage ends with another promise. It says, you will never stop producing fruit. So when we trust, then we will bear fruit. When we get that the Lord is our hope and our confidence, our countenance changes. We have peace, we have joy, we have patience, and not because of what's going on around us, but because we know that God is with us through it. You know, as moms, our responsibilities are not going to lessen anytime soon. We're going to have the same amount of decisions tomorrow as we do today. But when we understand this, our perspective changes, and we start to view our role as a mom, as a woman of God, through a whole different lens. So I want to challenge you to make the very first decision of your day before your feet hit the floor, before you get out of bed, before you pour that first cup of coffee, which you know will go cold anyway. And I want you to make a very important decision. I want you to make the active choice to trust God. Make Him your hope and your confidence. That may sound trite and obvious because we say that's what we believe if we're Christians, but are we living it? I want you to speak it out loud. Make it a conscious decision. We know our words have power, so let the first words out of your mouth be truth. God, I trust you. My hope and my confidence is in you and nothing else. Then we can walk out the rest of our days in assurance that God is with us in every decision, big and small. And we know through the messy and the mundane that He has given us everything we need to love and lead our family well.